Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Caleb, also known as TCG Tornado, and let's get into the banned and restricted announcement that LSS has dropped. They had just announced their banned and restricted list as I was out getting dinner with my family. It looks like they are actually shaking up what the meta would look like starting on January 17th. With the amount of FAB's player base willing to share their opinions and vent frustrations, they have listened and decided to drop a nice, ripe nugget of conversation for the same player base. For starters, LSS decided to make an errata on the S tier hero Briar and her grown up counterpart, the Warden of Thorns. Let me bring it up for you real quick here. So the text reads as follows. Essence of Earth and Lightning. Whenever an attack action card you control deals damage to an opposing hero, create an embodiment of Earth token. Fair enough. That's nice. That helps give your non-defense reaction cards it gives your non-attack action cards in your hand a little bit more defense when you're blocking an opposing hero's attack. No biggie. Whenever you play your second non-attack action card each turn, create an embodiment of lightning token so that way attacks you control gain go again. Not bad. Now, speaking from my local game store experience, who just started to carry Flesh and Blood in September, there are only 3 of us that play. Me, our friend Kyle, who just moved in the area not too long ago, and he got the Briar mat, and he got Briar, which he runs Briar. And we've never had to. He runs the Earth side. He runs the Earth side of Briar and not the Lightning side. So as far as embodiment of Earth tokens, he normally just creates 1 in his turn anyway. So it hasn't been a big deal for me or the shop owner Gerald. But I can see how it would really get annoying if you're playing on the lightning side, having all these go against, creating a bunch of these embodiment of Earth tokens, and all of a sudden your non-attack actions just block for so much weight, for maybe as much as if for some reason someone can pull it off for continuing drawing cards and everything for like 2-4 defense reactions, stuff like that. It can get ridiculous. It seems like it. And we haven't run into a total of overtaking of power by Briar, as me and Gerald are able to work around it anyway. And even so, Briar is such a powerhouse, and for the majority of the player base, it's unfun to play against her in her current state. So LSS came out with the following errata, and let me bring that up real quick here. So now the errata reads, it's the second part in that line of text. The first time an attack action card you control deals damage to an opposing hero each turn, create an embodiment of Earth token. Now, is it going to affect play at my local game store? No. However, now your non-attack actions are just going to block for a regular attack action that actually blocks for 3 or whatever. I actually would agree with what DM Armada said in his video, where actually that sounds a little bit more fair than having to block, like, instead of having just like, okay, just this big wall around you like a castle and nothing can get through because you're most likely blocking for 8 off of a 2 defense card. I think that actually brings it a lot better. Sorry about that. Very weird start to my morning this morning, especially with I'll have to do that in a minute. I just forgot something, but I'll have to do that in a minute. Anyway, so let's get back to this. Sorry about that. Now, after this errata, things should be able to play a little bit better and everything like that. But that's not the only thing in LSS's announcement that they brought. We've actually got some bans, which is interesting. Let me scroll down. Aha! Okay. So let me pull up the next picture. We got Ball Lightning here. Whenever a lightning or elemental action card would deal damage this combat chain, instead it deals that much damage +1. Now, now this being in the Briar deck as well, costing 0, you can pitch for 1, 2, or 3. This card really has been an instant powerhouse in the deck as well, because you have an automatic go again. It sets up extra damage for other lightning and elemental attack action cards, and it is an attack itself. So you play this against the opposing hero. Of course, they know that you're going to go again with other stuff and with other cards in the combination, and Briar making all these embodiment of Earth tokens. They're going to have a hard time. They're going to have a hard time choosing where to block the damage and everything like that, at least in terms of where Ball Lightning is concerned, setting up the extra damage if your other attacks hit afterwards and everything like that. That does mean there can be more creative solutions that can take place, since this is a ban for both Classic Constructed, and Blitz, which I am a Blitz player. Our store mainly plays Blitz. I think we've played Classic Constructed maybe 1 or 2 times. Especially since I'm pretty sure Classic Constructed ran 6 Ball Lightnings and Blitz ran 4 anyway. And the cards that can replace Ball Lightnings in the decks may not be as powerful, but should still make for some interesting turns nonetheless. And with Flesh and Blood's player base being as creative as it is, I'm pretty sure nothing can fall short of that. Now that will bring us to the next card, which is Plunder Run. This thing being a powerhouse, but it's only banned in Classic Constructed, especially it being a 9-card staple in Briar and Chain decks. Whew. This card is powerful. It guarantees them to draw a card. It also gives a nice attack boost if it is played from the arsenal. Anybody who plays Flesh and Blood already knows this. I don't have to reiterate, but I'm just going to say what I put in my notes here. Since the card's cost to play is 0, Briar and Chain players can just keep drawing into cards like crazy, and sometimes stack up an incredible amount of damage buff in the same turn if they're able to do shenanigans into the arsenal. Not to mention, Spellbound Creepers and Lightning Press buff the card even more, and Briar and Chain probably have a chance of OTKing an opposing hero if the opposing hero is not careful. Not to mention, even if that doesn't do it, it's stacking up for... It's making these really big turns, and the opposing players have to use all their cards in their hands to block it, and it's just not fun. And I know what it's like to have turns like that. I play mainly Rangers, Lexi and Azalea. I love playing Axes Dorinthia. I just built a Valda Bride Axe because I won a Valda Bride. I won a Valda Bride Axe from my LGS. Kyle unfortunately was sick, so I was playing against the store owner Gerald, and so I was able to get the Valda Bride Axe, which, like I said, I've created a deck. It's already up. It's already up here. I get to show off the cold foiling, which thing looks fantastic. Anyway, sorry. Unlike Ball Lightning, however, it's not banned in Blitz, so shenanigans are still afoot for this for Plunder Run in that format. Now let's go ahead and go on to the last ban in the announcement, which is the Duskblade. Now, I keep wanting to say Wizards of the Coast so bad, and I'm so sorry. LSS already banned this in their last in Classic Constructed in their last announcement. Now this other one they're banning it in Blitz. People are still having an unfun time playing against it in Briar's decks and Chain's decks. And the player base has still been finding this equipment to be unfun to play against, and LSS has decided to ban it for Blitz as well. I really don't have much more to say on this. You can see the card on the screen, how unfun it can be, especially when you're playing Briar and you had the multiple attacks, creating the multiple defense boost for non-attack action cards in Briar's decks. Then you had the freaking Plunder Runs just going like crazy. And so, and of course, it's easy to do in the deck. You just play those and you put a +1 counter on. You don't have to hit twice in turn like the Dawnblade is. The Dawnblade's at least controlled. The Duskblade, however, they're banning it now, which is fine. So, kitchen table players, beware. Duskblade's not banned in kitchen table unless you make your own house rules. But it is definitely, sorry, there's like this weird curl in it, that Duskblade's banned in Blitz. We won't have to worry about it. Now, that's not to say it can't be unbanned when later sets come out. And who knows? Maybe there's I'm hoping this isn't the case. But what if there's like something that gets weirdly unbalanced that comes out in Everfest, and all of a sudden when April comes along they have to ban it, but somehow balances out with Duskblade and Duskblade gets unbanned? I don't know. We're just going to have to see when the time comes. And then of course, to end this video, and I'm going to read this real quick. They have stated, LSS has stated that post-errata and bans Briar decks should be expected to still be competitive and now fun as well to play against. Now, I personally cannot wait to see what new decks pop up in the meta after this new ban and restricted list. With the release of Bald Bridex as the cold foil for one of this month's Armory prizes in LGS, as well as Icelander now being revealed, as well as Macho Grande, the really sweet looking, the really sweet looking Guardian card that comes out, which to me kind of seems like a better version of the one Majestic Briar specialization, Crippling Crush. Yeah, Bravo specialization, Crippling Crush. Yes, if the Crush mechanic hits, they have to discard 2 random cards. But with this new card, hold on, Macho Grande, it has Dominate right on it. It's already got 10 attack if you're running the red, 9 if you're running the yellow, 8 if you're running the blue. So yeah, not as powerful, but they can only block with 1 from hand. You got to choose a defense reaction, and now since Briar's definitely getting nerfed, a defense reaction or just a regular card out of the hand if you don't have any in your hand. So yeah, I'm actually liking the Macho Grande. Oh, that's for another time though. Let me get back to what I wrote down. We should be able to see what Flesh and Blood's player base can come up with this meta shift when Everfest comes out in February. So yeah, I'm really I'm all for this. I'm definitely all for this banned and restricted update. I'm also excited for Everfest in general. I love these new stuff. Hopefully I can get a Life of the Party in, because I want to experiment with that. I do have one Crazy Brew, but no. I want to see what decks pop up in the meta because of this. I think it would be pretty fun to see Guardians come back up the list. I personally want more Ranger cards to help with that. Because I want Rangers to be in the meta. I love playing Azalea. I love playing Lexi. 3 different sides of the same coin if you play. Because I don't like playing Lexi, Lightning and Ice. I like to do one side, which I have one side as a commoner and one side is not, for my LGS's reasons. So yeah, I think that's just gonna be the video. My name is TCG Tornado. Let's play on and have fun. I will see you in the next video.